Hi, friends. This is Adam Shoemaker, Rector here at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in downtown Charleston, back for another edition of Rector's Corner. And I'm very happy to have with me today vestry member Colleen Condon, who also serves as chair of our Mission Standing Committee. Colleen, thank you for making the time to be with me. I wonder if we could begin by having you talk a little bit about how long we've had a Mission Standing Committee and what it's all about.
Well, thanks, Father. I'm glad to be able to share the work we do and how we can maximize our contributions from our church. The Mission Standing Committee has been in place, to my knowledge, since at least 2021. Deacon Greg and Reverend Laura both worked with the team members then, and then I joined the team in 2022. Team members include Dana Howard, Greg Garvin, Judy Peterson, and Forrest Deloitte, as well as you and me. And with the Mission Standing Committee, the goal was to make the donations from our parish were impactful, meaningful, and had the desired result. It's very easy to cut a check to, try to solve a problem. We wanted to make sure that our giving was very impactful and thoughtful. With it, we started by reading Toxic Charity and really looking at how we could affect our community. When we think of missions, a lot of people automatically think about a trip abroad, and that certainly is something that we hope we'll be able to do in the future. Certainly with some of our partners that our diocese has already partnered with. But we wanted to really make sure that as we participate in CAGM, as we participated in Neighbors Together, that we were choosing missions that were critical to our primary goals, and that we could have a relationship with those organizations. So, for example, Fran Sills is a leader, an informal leader of our support to Neighbors Together. And so we wanted to make sure that as we're donating money, that we're seeing the relationship, that we are feeling invested in their goals and their objectives. CAGM, we're so proud that you're leading the CAGM effort right now, and it has been a longtime partner of ours. And that's another example of where, while we're committing to a financial contribution, we're also making sure that there's at least one parishioner who's really in charge of that relationship and working with them to understand their goals, to see that it's indeed helping our community in a meaningful way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Speaking of our CAGM ministry, I do also want to say that parishioners Joy Smith and Brad Erickson are integral leaders of that ministry. It is so important when we think about mission in our wider community. Funding those missions are very important, and I know that's an important part of what the Mission Standing Committee does. But encouraging parishioners to engage in these missions and figuring out missions that we can have ongoing hands-on relationships with, I also think is really important, that we're not distant from the missions that we're involved in, but that we're helping to build relationships. And I think we see that with CAGM. We see that with Neighbors Together and other organizations that we're involved with. I wonder, Colleen, how the Mission Standing Committee is funded.
We allocate this money each year. We ask for certain contributions to things that we already have a relationship, like CAGM, that we want to keep doing. But we're absolutely looking for other opportunities to participate. The vestry kindly grants us the responsibility to work with parishioners. And some people have gotten confused and think the Mission Standing Committee needs to be all the people doing mission work. But no, we want to encourage parishioners to see a need that they may be already working with and want to bring St. Stephen's in as a partner. We have set priorities to focus on social and racial justice and children's needs. We participate at St. Julian Divine. That is absolutely a hands-on effort with Rebecca Bird and Forrest Lloyd and other parishioners that have been very involved in that over the years. And that's an example where they've struggled at times in previous years. And so we've made sure we don't want to just, again, we don't want to just write a check. We want to make sure that if we go in and find out that they need help with their program, can we find volunteers? Can we find other supplies or resources that they might need? And so we urge, with a donation for the Mission Standing Committee, we require 4 things. We require there be alignment between our missions, a setting where we can engage locally. We look for a parishioner to be a leader of our work that then reports back to our committee. And so each of our committee members have been assigned 1 or more partners. So, for example, I'm checking in with Joy Smith and seeing what's happening with CAGEMs that are to then determine the contribution and that our work with them continues to meet the criteria set by the committee.
And what about if somebody in the congregation has an idea of a new mission, of a new ministry that St. Stephen's might engage in outside of the ones that we've already mentioned, certainly CAGEM, Neighbors Together, St. Julian Divine. These have been ongoing missions of the parish that are supported through the Mission Standing Committee. But what if somebody wanted to have us begin to get plugged in somewhere new? How would they go about doing that?
Terrific. We absolutely want to encourage parishioners to reach out to members of the Mission Standing Committee. And Dana Howard, Judith Peterson, Greg Garvin, Forrest Lloyd, you and me. I'm glad to be in contact, as I know all of our team members are. And so reach out to a parishioner. Certainly you can catch us at church or email me at Colleen at condonfamilylaw.com. Give me a call. I'm in the directory. We want to facilitate new relationships. The Easter egg tradition we've now started is a great example where we have kids give bucks to the organization they want to support. So we've also, of course, supported traditional things like the Episcopal Relief Fund. We've looked at how to help immigrants during some of the crises we've had in the past couple of years. Your Family is something that we've decided is an important partnership. And we have parishioners, including Nichols Condon, on the board at We Are Family. So with it, we look for ways to contribute. Setting up a long-term relationship in the Dominican Republic, for example, is something we're exploring for the future, but we are very open to it. But it would take anybody who says, you know what, I want us to look at a relationship with a new organization, and we would ask for them to identify someone not on the standing committee, but themselves or another parishioner who's going to really be responsible for that relationship and committing to volunteer regularly with that organization, understand how they're doing, where their needs are, how maybe we could serve our community better in partnership with other organizations. We're absolutely open to all of it, and we just want to make sure that as St. Stephen's commits our own money, that we're doing more than we might make for an individual contribution, but really doing some thoughtful consideration of the stewardship that a partnership with that organization could provide.
And the guidelines that you mentioned of our mission priorities that have been discerned by our leadership and what it would take for the standing committee to invest monies into a new mission. Are those guidelines published online, or can people get copies of those guidelines?
They're available through Amanda and our website.
Terrific.
We can put the link in with this video.
Terrific. Well, Colleen, I really appreciate your leadership and guidance of this committee. I'm so grateful for all the committee members who are helping to shepherd and guide the mission work that we do at St. Stephen's, not just to help invest dollars, as I've previously said, but to help facilitate through partnerships. And for those listening in, as Colleen said, we certainly can expand our missions. We're always looking thoughtfully to think about how we can engage, but we're also looking for leaders in the congregation. The purpose, as she said, is not for the standing committee to do all the mission work, but to encourage the congregation to step forward and discern where people might be called and what work we might do together in the future. There certainly are lots of worthy mission outreach endeavors in our community, and the Mission Standing Committee helps us to prayerfully discern what mission makes most sense for us. But as Colleen mentioned, in addition to our local missions, we have had some conversations on the Mission Standing Committee about the possibility of discerning a foreign mission. There's certainly some energy, I think, around that in the congregation. Typically, a diocese has a companion relationship with another diocese in the Anglican Communion. And historically here in South Carolina, that relationship has been with the Dominican Republic. I can share, this is new information for you, Colleen, but our former Associate Rector, Laura Rizek, was actually just in the Dominican Republic in her capacity as the head of Camp St. Christopher, meeting with her counterparts there. I had some conversation with her. She was on the lookout for some opportunities for us, and I will be following up with Laura. So who knows, there may be opportunities in the future for us to send a St. Stephen's team down to the DR to do some exploration of what we might do there. In my previous parish, the diocese that I served there had a relationship with Costa Rica, and we sent groups of young people and adults to do work. And I'm a big believer that foreign mission can help inspire and inform local mission. And so let's all be prayerful about that. And if you're interested in that, please reach out to me or to Colleen or to another member of the committee. Again, we will put Colleen's contact information when we post this video. We'll also have it in the Deacon. Please reach out to her if you have any questions. Thank you, Colleen, for making the time, and thank you to those listening in. I am about to depart for a sabbatical, so we will be taking a break from these Rector's Corners until I return in the latter half of February or in early March. But thank you for listening in. In the meantime, friends, you stay safe and well, and you keep the faith. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.